Hello and welcome to the last module of SAMPES. This module is about action planning. In the module before this, the third module, you have assessed your job seeker services and your employer services within your public employment services. Ideally, you have identified some development areas. Let's say you have come to the conclusion that it would be a good idea to maybe stream your job seekers a little bit more when you do the profiling. You have been doing this until now maybe as well, but maybe you want to do it in a more systematic way so that not everybody will get the same service after their profile, but people will be more kind of a targeted services for each type of job seeker. Or you decide to maybe be more proactive with employers, get to their vacancies before they bring them to you, etc. So the first thing we will ask you to do in this module is to prioritize what you're actually going to do your action planning around, because your self-assessment might have brought that you need to change a lot of things, or you would like to update a lot of the parts of the service, but you cannot do everything at the same time. So priorities are important here, and there will be exercises and documents that we have compiled for you around the idea of how to prioritize, because if everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. That's basically the core of this, and the second product of the whole SAMPES training after the assessment is we will ask you to do the action plan. And do an action plan is technically very easy. It's basically taking a sheet of paper. We are suggesting a template for it, and it's to say, in order to do this improvement to my service, what exact tasks do I have to do? So we would like you to write down the tasks. Then who will be responsible for implementing or for following that task? Is it yourself, or who is it? And what would be the timing? This training is finishing now at the 10th of November, so obviously we're not asking you to plan something that would be finished by then, but we would like you to have an action plan by then that would then have like a midterm, short-term planning of 3 months, half a year, 1 year of action planning of fulfilling the task with the responsibility. And ideally you'll also find a way to put some milestones while you're pursuing the action planning to know whether you have achieved and how you have achieved the little steps in between towards your goal of, for example, making the employability assessment of job seekers more granular, or being more proactive with employers, whatever your objectives are. We will be talking about this on the 10th of November then as well, the action planning, and the action planning will also be the foundation on which you will be able to go on cooperating on this with WAPES, because WAPES will be then offering the possibility of doing a more individual assessment, action planning, implementation of your action plan with your public employment services, if you so wish, as an outcome of this exercise here in the pilot. This module will be again shaped as all the other modules with a couple of documents that we would like you to read, 2 exercises, of which one will be the action planning itself, and then there's also a forum where we will go a bit beyond of what consequences it might have to do a change in your service, and what kind of change that might have to the mission and vision of your public employment services. Sometimes when you change something big, something small, it might bring out a big change. So this is something we would like to discuss with you as well. That's then basically the whole SAMPES. That's the 4th module. All the modules will stay there, so you can revisit them. You can think back of how things connect now, maybe when we started to ask you how the self-assessment is done, and then maybe compare it with what you're doing now after having learned in the 3rd module how to do a self-assessment. So there is a couple of things that you can maybe check back, and of course within your tutor groups and with the WAPES Secretariat, then ask questions whenever it's needed and whatever you feel a doubt about. good luck with that. We are looking forward to your action plans, and we see you on the 10th of November in our last online meeting. Thank you very much.